Hey guys, welcome to another session of Epic 7. Today we're going to do my Wyvern 13 hunt. Thanks to a couple guildmates. I used Furious for the longest time, but thanks to a couple guildmates, they gave me Taranor Guard and SSB as mains. I know that everybody has been rushing to build their Wyvern 13 team, and rightly so. As you guys saw, if you guys were watching my videos on YouTube, you guys saw that I did the Banshee one-shot as like my main priority. It's just because I couldn't get the consistency down for Wyvern 13. So this is my team. Hopefully it doesn't fail, because I am notoriously known for having my runs fail while making a video. So so you guys watch this in action. Obviously Wyvern 13, the new, or the, I would say, repeat gimmick is that you need to have multiple debuffs on him, and his resistance is much higher now, and there's always that 15% innate resistance. So that's just RNG that you can't ignore. Now at this point, Ice Chloe is actually a pretty good one for Wyvern 13. Not only is she Ice Hero, does a ton of damage, but her debuff, the Magic Nail, is irresistible, and it's everlasting. So you'll always have one debuff. So in terms of the most like consistent run you can have, is going to be something with an Ice Chloe in it. Yeah, people run like, you know, Sigret for multiple debuffs, but I kind of like this team. Alexa and Taranor Guard, and never used them in the previous Wyvern. I know that they've always been pretty good free-to-play options, but you guys can see that this is doing quite a bit of work here, especially with Daydream Joker. Of course, I'll show my builds right after this run. I think this is gonna be a completed run. Unless I get no death break, but the death break is very important. Yeah, we got this one.
I'm getting tired of
Yeah, my SSB will always be able to do the S3. So on around this third turn, like one turn right before the Wyvern's barrier phase. This generally will complete the barrier phase, especially if you land the debuff. So basically, this Wyvern is I mean, pretty annoying. If you don't get the debuffs, he can go for anyone. If you're lucky enough that you don't get a debuff, let's say before he goes the second time, you have 1 in 4 chance that he's still gonna hit your frontliner, so that's kind of good. Okay, just gonna collect this for now. It's just muscle memory. The other thing is that you do not want your debuffers quicker than Wyvern. He has a really high speed. I think like over 240 if I remember correctly. But you don't want your debuffers to go before him, because if you don't land the debuff, he actually just starts hitting everyone else, or has a possibility. But if you allow him to go first, he'll always hit the front line when you enter wave 2. So that's something to note. I'm gonna show the stats. Is it 242? Oh, okay, 242 speed. So this is my general Purrgis. So I recently got him, and I love him. I use him everywhere. He's fantastic for Wyvern 13. I definitely think that you should be using him if you have him, especially for Wyvern 13. The S2 is the main priority to Mola. You want as much CR boost as possible, ideally with the CR boost EE. I can min-max him if I had more currency, get more health. The imprint, if you have him at triple S, the dual attack imprint is really good, especially if you're running the team I'm going with, because every single one of them, pretty much, either if it's Alexa, it does crazy damage. If it's Taranor Guard, you have a defense break, and if you have Junkyard Dog, you have a burn chance. If you have SSB on the team, you have a target debuff potential. So the dual attack is really good. Sadly, I used all of my Purrgis imprints onto my green Purrgis when I thought that I would Mola him. The immunity is nice to have, because there's a ton of poison in wave 1. So if you can have him on immunity and you have him roughly slow, I have him at 131 right there, then it's actually better for you, since if you have high HP, the poison is gonna like eat a ton of your HP. Proof of Valor is 100% necessary if you're gonna run him as a frontliner for Wyvern 13. He hits too hard. But mine is not maxed because I have another copy Just the 1% is not going to make a big difference, I think. But realistically, yeah, you want to get him high HP. Some people run him about 1600 defense, 25,000 HP plus. That would have roughly the same effect, especially if you have Proof of Valor. So those are just some stats I'm throwing there. Next is Alexa. I think this is very important. Again, I never used Alexa until Wyvern 13. The Daydream Joker scaling with high crit damage is very impressive, as you guys saw there. If she does the S1, she has about a 50,000 damage on a Death Broken Wyvern. I do keep all of her skills on because sometimes I can go into wave 2. If I don't get a lucky debuff, then I can hopefully RNG and get 1 or 2 poisons. You can see my effectiveness is very low. That's not what I'm chasing for Alexa. If you can get high crit damage, enough crit chance, and high enough effectiveness, that would be very good. But this is the best that I can do right now. And Crushing Blow does a ton of damage on multiple debuffs. I think the highest damage I've gotten was 70,000 damage, but that was about 6 debuffs with the hit debuff and a defense break. So that's just something to keep in mind. And of course, Self Imprint will help. Every bit helps, but the Daydream Joker and high crit damage is where most of your damage is coming from. Taranor Guard, I left him as a 5-star. I don't think he needs to be 6-star for this. You just have to be lucky on wave 1 and not get killed. Yeah, I'm running on a double unity set. The imprints don't really matter. You don't really need to have crit chance on him, but you do need this one at least to 75%. This one, ideally, you want to max this out. You don't need the S3 at all, but I did the +2 there because it was Stigma. It's free, so it just made it look cool. Yeah, so you want at least a 65 effectiveness. So all the Hunt 13 bosses have 80 resistance, so minus 15%, always resisting. 65 is as much as you need for maximum effectiveness. This is a bit too much right now. If I can get a triple unity set in the future with 65 effectiveness, that's what I would do. Junkyard Dog with Guilty Gear collab coming back. For those who don't have Junkyard Dog, this is probably the next best thing on Taranor Guard. You don't need, unless you had like high crit damage, you don't need something like Daydream Joker. But Burn Artifact is good on him, especially if you could keep proccing the dual attacks. So you have a 75% chance to land a Death Break, and then a 50% chance if you max this out to get the Burn. So very nice. And then the SSB, I'll show you guys. My SSB is unchanged from her PvP build. Oh, she's on Drink. I could have killed it faster. Hold on, wait one sec. Let's do one more run with Daydream Joker. With Daydream Joker, she does a lot more damage. So again, Daydream Joker, high scaling on crit damage. So that's what I'm going with. 56 effectiveness. I am missing 9. So it won't be as quote unquote effective, but at least this way I don't have to change her gear. And relatively speaking, she'll get her debuffs anyway. But I'll run one with Daydream. I think Daydream is actually pretty... Daydream Joker speeds it up a ton, so definitely recommend it. The only thing with Specialty Drink is that you could clear wave 1 faster, so it does depend on what you need. If you clear wave 1 faster, you realistically can have the Alexa's S2, so the poison, be almost 100% guaranteed on the Wyvern wave. So Ice says you could use Torn Sleeve on Alexa for an extra debuff. I wouldn't. You would miss out too much damage. Unless you got Sigret on your team, I wouldn't bother with more debuffs. I have been told about that, but Daydream Joker just does way too much to ignore. In my opinion, I think, yeah, unless you have Sigret or someone who's actually doing the priority damage, she shouldn't be a debuffer. That's just my opinion, though. So yeah, you can see the wave 1 almost killed my Taranor Guard. He's naturally tankier because he's a warrior. He's a Libra warrior compared to Alexa. So Alexa really needs the 6-star in my opinion. I know some people just are doing it fine even at a 50 Alexa. So I might not be getting the debuffs here on this turn. Oh, see, so that poison right there saved this run. Otherwise, I would be I would be dead pretty much. Or 1 out of 4 chance that he hit my DPS. SSB is tanky enough with the damage here that she will actually... Okay, we got another debuff, that's good. She's tanky enough to actually take on some of the hits, so that's good. I don't think I'm gonna kill him this time pre-barrier, because I don't have a death break.
I won't go easy on you.
Yeah, the 50% death break on the SSB is always a problem. Okay, that's pretty good.
I'm getting tired of you. Bye bye now.
Yeah, I think we got this one. But he's gonna go barrier.
It's too late to back out now.
Oh, come on, resist. Yeah, resist. So that one is the S3. It does more damage with more debuffs. Because I didn't have debuffs, so it's not gonna do that much. The poison is good, and the burn is good. So at this point, it doesn't matter who he hits. Oh no, he's too fast. Actually, I'm gonna lose. Oh no, he lost. That's good. He actually was fast enough to get another turn, but then he poisoned and burned to death. So anyways, okay, so that's it. That's pretty much it for my build and my runs. It's pretty consistent. Out of the 20, if I do auto farm, out of the 20, if I get lucky, roughly 80% success rate. And at this point, with the effectiveness that I have, technically I should be running a lot lower. Of course, I've had the, salty streaks where 6 runs, I just not get a debuff or whatever, and he kills my DPS. But yeah, that's it. Pretty much it for this one. I think a Wyvern definitely a lot tougher this time. The RNG wall is pretty crazy. That's my critique on that one. But again, highest priority hunt at the moment, I believe. So I'm gonna end this for the video recording. If you guys have Discord, check out the Discord server. Follow me on Twitter. Subscribe to YouTube if you haven't. As always, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.